spot on.
Yeah, she's awesome. And you can tell she just speaks from her heart versus like
Yeah.
the speaker the week before. I don't know if anyone listened to her.
Yeah, I liked her. The doctor.
Um,
Oh no.
It was after
that was
doctor's-
3 weeks ago.
She just sounded like she was reading from a piece of paper. It was hard.
Holly's having trouble getting into the meeting. She keeps getting like error notifications. It's on her end. I don't think it's on our end.
I was having issues too. So
I wonder why. All right. Do we
Everyone should have gotten, Steven should have messaged everybody for Secret Santa. Did everybody that was participating get a message today? Perfect.
Yes.
That
Thank
threw me
you
all
so
off. I was like, why am I getting a message from Steven? I was at work. I'm like, who's Steven? Who? I'm like, oh, I know that name.
I know a Steven.
Thank you so much for doing that. I know it was probably a lot of copy paste and work, but I appreciate it.
We found an online generator to do most of the work. So
That's smart.
Did you just
I
enter the
just-
names and it like spins the wheel or something?
it didn't even have I wanted a wheel. It just like popped out names and it was like
I wanted a wheel.
I wanted a wheel.
That's fun. Awesome. Well, if it's okay, we can get started and then dig in, and if anyone else joins, they can. Okay. Are those Christmas pajamas?
Christmas blanket. I have a blanket for every season. So this is my Christmas blanket.
I love it.
Yes.
All right. So to kick things off, we're basically into December almost. We have one more day tomorrow, and then we're on to the new month. So I actually got like Beachbody since they get the scoop email. I don't know if you all get it early or not, but some of the main things that I wanted to bring up, and you'll see it all in this email. A lot of it is like different things about Body Blocks, Body Bike Studio, all that fun stuff. But the new program Sure Thing is coming out as preferred customer launch on the 6th. So we're about a week out. I know they posted about it on the Coach 411 page, or what's the new Coach Basic something? What's the new Champions page? I forget what it's called. Coach Basic something.
It's confusing and hard to find.
Yes.
Like, because the new TBB is like Body UK. And I'm like, because that's what I've been getting notifications from. And I was like, isn't that United Kingdom, not United States? So I don't know.
Huh. So they are transitioning everything. So hopefully it gets smooth and like ends up being fine. I know it's a lot, but I think they're going to try to make it as smooth as possible for us. But so a week from today, the preferred customer launch is happening for the new program with the trainer Megan Davies. And shortly after that, on the 20th, they're going to do the full customer launch. So that gives us, if you guys are in on doing this new program, we have that like 3-week chunk where we can get the programs ourselves, start testing it out, start showing sample workouts, make a group to get people pumped up, and literally like just build this momentum over the program. And then if people want to start and they're not coaches, they can get started on the 20th. So before the holidays, before the craziness. And I think it could be a really good excitement and push for people as we get into the new year. And I'm sure they're going to be dropping tons of information and more details about the programs and calls with Megan and all that good stuff, because that's what they always do. So I really do think it could be a really good thing for us just going into the new year and trying to hit our goals before the holidays. So I'm going to post a post. I'm going to write a post in our group on our team page and see who is ready to participate and would want to do the launch group. And maybe you want to help as a coach in the launch group, but you're maybe not doing it yourself. That's fine too. But we could break it down. And if you're sharing about it and you want to invite to it, I think that's great. Obviously, our job is still to make sure we're helping people where they're at. We can't just push a program on everyone, but we can share that we're excited about a new program. We can share that we're going to do it and explain some sample moves and share it. But in the end, if someone's better off with like a no impact program or a more lifting program, like that's why we have those other groups that are ongoing. So think about it. I think if you didn't do the sample workout, definitely try it, because I was surprised. I was like, wow, this is actually kind of hard with like a lot of repetition and adding moves on. And that was only like a sample of, I swear it had to be just one of the versions of the workouts. Like
She
one
said
day.
it was just one of the days. That's not like typically how they do their samples. But she said this was like one day. I forget what day it was called.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what the rest of the program looks like. I'm excited.
What is- Sorry, what's it considered, like intermediate or beginner? I know they sometimes label them
I
that.
think it's intermediate.
I feel
Um,
like she talks about like meeting you where you are though, like with everybody else. I mean, I did it. Jesse, you did it. We were super pregnant. You were literally.
I mean,
Very-
I did it on Saturday and then he came on Monday.
So that's the reason that you had your baby.
Maybe.
Maybe don't tell people that. But like I did it okay. And like
Thanks, Megan.
you can like modify those, like at least for that workout, like you don't have to lift, like she was definitely lifting heavy. So
And I
that's the thing is like you can start with lighter weights and increase your weights as you go. So I feel like I wouldn't say it was intermediate, but that also isn't like what's the cardio day look like. And because I've seen some of those moves look pretty intense.
On
But-
on the Beachbody app, it does say intermediate.
Okay.
Was it-
Yeah.
Well, something for people to work up to. That's for sure.
yes. And I think just like there's going to be modifications for everyone. So maybe if they haven't been working out at all, I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. But I think there's like maybe they do 4 weeks for everybody and then they jump into it. But whatever it is, I think it's going to be a really good program. I think she has a good vibe. I think she's going to connect with a lot of people that connect with us, like our people. So I'll put a post in our group and just see who wants to participate, how we want to do it. And we'll talk details there. Also, remember your $20 off promo code is still good through now through the end of the year. So you can still give people good deals and get them started. And then the third thing is the new, oh, I see the name of the group now. They did change it to UK Korean. That's so weird. That was not
I
earlier.
kept thinking, I was like, man, I must have logged into the UK one. I was like, that's so weird.
no, they
Yeah,
changed
I couldn't-
that.
Yeah.
What? So
Can
now
I
they're
just
gonna
see that little
separate
baby's
it?
face? Show me his face.
He's so squishy.
His girlfriend needs to come out.
Mm.
She's being stubborn.
He is so tiny. Yeah, so I don't know because we're all viewed as one, so I have no idea why it changed to Body Coach UK. That seems very, very weird. But anyway, that's what it's called right now. And I believe this is where I saw it. Maybe it wasn't here. It was about the Shake and Hustle.
So you don't get a ton of samples like with that. It's only like 20 days worth is what I heard on the wake up call this morning. I was like, that kind of sucks because it's not a full month.
So
But go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
No, go ahead.
how they explain that at the Super Weekend I went to, they're like, how many people have bags of shakes sitting around that they don't drink it every single day? So then they push their subscriptions and then they get off it, auto ship and all that stuff. So they basically did it because if you say you don't drink it on the weekends or on Saturdays or Sundays, they did the 20 and 20, but then I guess that's assuming you also don't do the Energize on those days too.
I don't know
And-
who those people are. Why don't you use it every day? Becky. I only drink Energize not on Sundays, but I drink my shake every single day. I swear to God, it regulates you if you don't drink it every day.
Well,
And then
so
if you
yeah, I
drink
do the
it
shake
after
every
you-
day, but
Yeah.
not Energize. I do coffee with my workouts.
Good for you.
I do both. I mean, I do not both.
I do
for
all
my
of the
workouts.
things.
I space them out. But yeah, so this is coming, and I think it's going to be a really good option for people because some people, those are the, I'm guessing, the two top products, and I think it'll be awesome. It's 20 servings of each, and it'll keep people on auto ship hopefully, and it's launching on the 6th. So my understanding is they can get started with a completion pack and like the total solution pack basically. So it would be like, okay, now you can either get the shakes for the package that's $160 and $20 off. Oh, sorry. You can do the pre and post workout, you can do the Go and Glow, you can do this one. And just like always, see what is best for your customers and just know it's another option and go from there. But I think it's a really good option if they are some of your favorite products. Awesome. Any other updates? We're gonna get into December. We'll shift over our themes. We'll build a new momentum for our accountability groups. And really, if you guys have any fun ideas for accountability groups through the holidays, post them. I scheduled something that gives a sample of like a 12 days of fitness, but it's not going to come up every day and it's not going to be like repetitive. It's going to be a picture that they can then use and share in the group. So if you guys think of anything, please just take the lead and like post it or share it or whatever, because we really need to build that energy and fun in our groups to keep people around. So we're excited to invite to it and potentially have people that want to switch over to coaches. All right, I literally can't believe it's December, but that is all I have. Anything else? Okay, so Becky is going to share something really cool with us today, and I'm gonna hand it over to her.
Yes, I hope it's really cool and helpful at least. The only thing I bought Black Friday or Cyber Monday or anything of that sort was Kayla Ibanez's like course she was selling. And it's super tiny. It was $17. So of course, like $17 worth of content, but still, I always appreciate any nuggets that she gives. So I was watching a few videos that we have, and I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. Okay, y'all can see this. So she gave these videos, and then I don't know, I'm gonna try to share these in the team page as well. Can you see if I flip over to like this document? So she also gave in a like different hooks for reels and things to catch people's eyes. So I'll share all of this content, but it was amazing. So for $17, you got these, you got different bold posting prompts, which apparently get you more views. There's she does her spreadsheets. I probably won't use this, but again, I can share all this stuff. Legitimate scripts she sent along with this of like what to say, literally like moving into a conversation with somebody, and a direct pitch. So I actually tried using this on my Instagram story the other day. I literally had my phone and just like threw it out there. So anyway, lots of cool tools. I absolutely will share all of this in the team page for you guys. But today we're going to watch just one of these short videos. This one was 12 minutes long, and I will just let Kayla talk. Yeah, it is awesome. So let me do this. Can you hear her sound? Can you hear her sound?
It was pretty quiet, but I can hear something.
Okay, hold on. It's always the part of screen sharing that I'm like, am I sharing my sound?
I can never figure it out. Jesse got good at it.
Let me, so mine's all the way up, hers
I
is
think
all the
you
way
have
up.
to do same as system, like next to your like mute button.
Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing for a second. Sorry, y'all. And oh, there's a button when I share the screen that says share sound. So I had to X out. All right, try 2.
Today,
How's
we
that?
are talking
Cool.
all about how to build trust with your audience, and that is through taking them through the know, like, trust customer journey. If you're not already familiar with that, the know, like, trust customer journey, whether you like it or not, it's a journey that a customer is going through and they need to go through in order to trust you. Now, someone can get stuck in know and get stuck in like and not be at trust, and that is why they are not buying from you. So in know, customer is aware of who you are. They know that you exist and they have an idea of what you do. They like you. They like you as a human, as a person, not just as a business owner. And to get to trust, they trust you enough to listen to you, but actually follow through and take action on the recommendations that you are making. So the purpose is to take them through this journey to build loyalty so that they are long-term clients who are on auto ship, who eventually potentially want to join your team. This is the ideal loyal evangelist, and this is what we want for long-term client retention. This is exactly why cold messaging doesn't work, because that is like trying to take someone from know, or maybe not even know, to trust in one fell swoop. It just does not work, and it does not work effectively for having a sustainable and scalable business. So when you use this journey to your advantage, you will be amazed at just how much traction you can gain, and actually gain quickly in your business. So just an example, Lindsay, she got 4 applications to work with her after really honing in on this journey after not getting any for 6 months. And then there's Carrie, who signed 2 high-level clients who each paid her $3,000 upfront for her coaching. So my clients who really hone in again on this journey, they're not chasing anyone. They're not begging people to work with them. They have people in their inbox asking them how they can work with them, which is of course what we want and what we are pushing for with building that trust with our audience. So in order to build know, you really need to focus on making sure that you are speaking to a specific individual. You'll know you're being effective at this when they're saying things like, "You're in my head. How did you know I needed this? I feel like I've known you my whole life." Even on the first or second time they are just coming to your page and consuming your content. When they feel like they know you on that level, they are at the know on the know, like, trust customer journey. Now, getting to like is one of the more challenging things, and a lot of people get stuck in know for a very long time, and here's why. Getting to like can be tricky because we often spend so much time on trying to get people to like us as a business owner, but the truth is, before that can be established, they need to like us as a human and as a person first, and we also want them to get into the habit of thinking of us outside of Instagram, when they're off their phone, when they're off social media. This is the key of brand recognition that we should be striving for within our businesses. And a lot of people neglect this, and this is key. So you want people thinking of you outside of Instagram, and you want people to like you as a person, as a human. So basically things outside of Instagram. As an example, I am known for the Stop the Hey Girl. So now when people see things that say Hey Girl out in the public, they take a picture and send them to me, or they tag me on Instagram. They also know I love pumpkin spice and all things pumpkin. So they are always messaging me when they see something pumpkin, because they're thinking of me. And they're not just thinking of me based on my business expertise, they're thinking of me when they think of very basic human things. So I want you to kind of do an audit on yourself and ask yourself about your content. Are they just hearing business, business, business all the time? Or are they actually getting to know you as a person as well? Because this is so important, because if you want to get to trust, getting from like to trust can be simple. once you establish like effectively, and if they then are able to see you as an expert, as an authority, and as a leader in this space. So how can they do that? Number one is sharing what you're learning and actually sharing what, or rather where you are learning it from. Clearly, no ideas are completely original, and you have learned things from a certain person. So make sure you are giving credit and acknowledging mentors or anyone who you come across where you're learning things from. That actually builds your authority and your leadership, because people actually think that's not the case. They think it's the complete opposite, and that's why they don't share. Being open about that is how you earn the respect of these individuals, and that is key from getting from like to trust. Respect. The other thing to focus on is to make sure that, especially as a personal brand, that you are the face of your brand. So stock photos from your network marketing company, random crap from Google that you're just throwing up there because you think it represents what people want to see, and overuse of quote cards that are not your own original ideas are hurting your branding and hurting your audience's ability to trust you. Because when you're hiding behind the products of your company and not stepping out in front of them, we are not able to trust you. When we invest, even if we're buying products, we're investing in you. We want to see you in your content, and that needs to be a key priority. And then number three, lastly, of building trust is to make sure that you are keeping your blinders on and not worrying about what other people are doing or what's working from so-and-so who's top in the company. They are not you. Your audience is not their audience, and your audience wants to see you in your element, following your strengths. So don't copy what other people are posting, because you need to establish what is your word, what is your leadership, what is your message. And that is determined by, of course, what your audience tells you they need. Because I know what happens, and you have what I like to call are a lot of fence sitters. And this is something that is so important that we hone in on when we talk about how to convert these followers into loyal customers. Because here's the key. You have so many people watching you right now. They've been watching you for years, and they are going to sit there and continue to be on the fence and wait until you step into that highest level version of yourself as the CEO, that you fully embody that. Because when you step into that version of you and you expertly pair that with making it crystal clear about who you help and what you help them do, that is how you're going to build ultimate trust with these people. That is what's going to get you to the pinnacle of the know, like, trust customer journey. So I want to talk to you about a few more ways that we can really do that, how you can make it clear about who you're speaking to and then embody that CEO version of yourself, so that we can work on converting these curious followers into loyal customers. Sound good? All right. So one thing to really keep in mind is, before someone is going to invest in you, they have to feel like they have received an equal amount or more of free value from you. So as an example, if you have a kit to work with you and it is a $160 investment, they have to receive $160 or more of free value from you before they will invest. So in what I teach, I like to really focus on over delivering, because value is so subjective. So how can you give? How can you teach on your expertise? And this is also a common misconception. People think, if I give all the good stuff away, then how am I going to get ahead? Who's going to buy? And here's the thing. When people invest in you, it's not based on just the tips and your knowledge. It's to be in your energy, to be around you, to be in that container that you are creating for them. And that's why it's so important to give freely and give as much as you can without expecting anything in return. That is stepping into that highest level version of yourself and that CEO version. And then tip number one, getting clear on who that ideal client is. And again, this says Beachbody, but whether you're with Beachbody, Monet, Beauty Counter, or another network marketing company, getting clear on your ideal client and what they need to hear, rather than just talking about the latest product release, is tip number one. Because guess what? They don't care about the latest. They don't care that you're looking to help 10 people. They're selfish and they want to know what's in it for them, as they should be. They're the ones that are investing. So make sure that your content is crystal clear about who exactly you want to help and the result you help them achieve, and also we should be communicating why someone should work with us. I'm not talking about trashing other people who are doing the same thing, but what about you makes you the best fit for the right person? Like, as an example, I'll use myself. People should work with me if they want to build a sustainable and a scalable business in network marketing or beyond, focusing on integrity, values, and staying away from cold messaging. So if that's something that people really want, then they're the right person for me. Tip number 2 is focus on how you can show up for your people with client-serving content rather than self-serving content. So the example I like to show is when you post a post-workout selfie with a cute quote, you're just patting yourself on the back. How is that adding any value to your audience? Because when you're coming from a mindset of, I'm patting myself on the back and I just need to sign 5 clients this month, you will begin to see where that disconnect is, because your audience wants to know that you're thinking of them and that you're looking out for helping them. So I want you to do an audit on your content today. Look at your posts on Instagram, look at what you're posting on stories. Is it truly client serving or is it self-serving? Are you creating what they need and what they're asking you for and what they really want? Or are you just talking about what's best for you? Lastly, tip number 3 is to make sure that in your invite post with a call to action to go to apply with you, that you are being very clear in your instructions of what you want them to do. Because if you say things like, if you're interested, go over here, or if you send them to a link tree with 12 links, that squirrel brain is kicking in, and that's too much for them to be able to focus on. So if they're getting to that point in the invite process and they trust you, you need to tell them exactly what you want them to do so they can follow through and do it. So never say, let me know. That is the kiss of death. Even if they have the best intentions, they will not let you know. So what should you say instead? Go to the link in my bio and fill out the application now. I'll reach out to you in the next day or 2. Tell them exactly what to do and what they can expect from you as far as next steps. When they trust you, they just want to get to the point. You don't have to give them all these different things to do. And that is the end as far as the know, like, trust customer journey and how we can work really hard on converting those curious followers into loyal customers. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video.
So I hope that was helpful for somebody, all of you. I hope that you were able to take some nuggets from that. I definitely was. And I think the biggest nuggets that I personally took was shifting, and I felt like she kind of called me out in like the self-serving content versus serving other people. And then also just something I'm learning from her in general is being super intentional and telling people exactly what to expect. So when I'm having those conversations, I will lay out the whole process. So this is what to expect. And once you send me your email, I'll send you a cart. Once you check out, I will loop you into our group and yada, yada. So they know every single thing. And there is no, as like Kayla calls it, ambiguity or confusion in that process. It's just very clear. And I just bought a car, also taking things from car sales of just like, this is what to expect. This is the money. This is how it works. And now you're going to go through this process. So even with big purchases, it's like you are walked through every step and informed of what you're doing. So there's no like giant shock at the next step.
I think that's really helpful. She's always super like to the point, clear, move on. And a few things I wrote down, it's similar to you. Like, I feel like I could improve on all the things she said, but, and this is maybe a discussion. So it's like, you want to share free content, not make it all about your business, share like more about your family and like your hobbies. But then it's like, also be client serving versus self-serving. So I feel like that's kind of hard. I don't know if you guys agree, where it's like, you want me to share the stuff that about myself, but then like, is that too much self-serving? So I feel like it's like a fine balance of like, just throughout the week, sharing a variety, which is kind of what we've talked about in the past. It's like Fun Friday, fun fact about me. Here's my post about my kid. Here's a business post, but like, make sure you're touching on it all, because you can't be all self-serving where it's just like cute pictures of your family with nothing for them to receive, like free content. But then you don't want just all business stuff. So I feel like we all just need to find our own balance. And maybe that's something we all need to work on, even on our stories.
Yeah, and I think it's that balance. It's the family content is that like and trust section that people need to like and trust you and know you and identify with you. But when it comes to the workouts and how, like she was saying, a workout with like a cute quote on it, like I know on my hard days, I'm like, you can do hard things. But am I really talking to I mean, I thought I was, but am I really talking to myself? Because I think Kayla just told me I was talking to myself. So, like, I think that's more of what she's talking about. Whereas on those workouts, instead of saying, like, you can do hard things, give something, give content, explain what reps you were doing and what muscle groups that uses or something instead that's more marketable. That's part of your business. Does that make sense?
Yes. So instead of being like, all right, I got my workout in, bye. It's like, like hit something like of their misconception or their limiting beliefs of like, I got this done through the craziness and it only took me 30 minutes. And they're like, I need something like that. I think that is really helpful. Did anyone else have any key takeaways that they think they can work on or that you thought were really interesting?
I think for me, it's basically like, even though like how Becky was saying about how like, oh, you're working these muscle groups, or you know, this is what it is for specifically for this workout. Sorry, I couldn't talk. But for me, it's, I mean, I could sit there and be like, oh yeah, you know, did my workout through my chaos, you know, or whatever like that. But like, for me, that's why I try to like change it up a little bit. And like, I primarily do like my workouts between like my dining room and my living room, like showing, okay, like you know, we use minimal equipment and you don't need a lot of room, but then you can also do it like in this section of the house, or like, that's why, like for me, even if like, say my kids don't want to join me during my workout, which I mean, we'll have like a full week where they're like, yeah, mom, let's do this. And then we have a week where their attention span's like 5 seconds. And then we have another week where instead of them like working out with me, they're like literally doing an Indy 500 around me while I'm working out, or like they're just like, you know, running across the house or whatever they're doing. But it's like, for me, it's like, rather than saying, oh, I did my workout in the chaos, I'm like, y'all can clearly see I'm working out like inside of the chaos. Like there's no way for me to get away from the chaos to do this. So it's like how, like, for me, I love the fact that I can show people that you can still do this and you don't have to physically remove yourself from the situation. And the fact that you can still focus and clear your head throughout the tornado going on in your house. So that's for me, because that's why I do that, because it's just less for me to have to say in my stories.
And I think that's really relatable to people. Like, they don't want to see all the perfect things. So you're like, hey, this is real life. And then you're going to find your people that are like, oh, my kids do this. So like, I can make this work too. So I think that's really key.
Yeah, I tried doing it where like, cause Abby, I saw you like in your shorts one day saying, yeah, as you can see, like my moves aren't perfect. Like for me, like I have to really focus like hard. Otherwise, I like get so frustrated because I'm like, I'm trying to do this recording. So I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'm like, I'm just gonna record. I'm still gonna focus on my moves, but for me, it's not about like having the perfect form. It's not about this. So for me, it's about being able to concentrate during the craziness to get my workout done and not have it take 2 hours, which sometimes I have to pause it every 5 minutes because the kids are, like attacking each other or whatever's going on. So that's for me the hard part, where for you, it's like because Brady's still tiny and doesn't go very far yet. So for you, it's like, trying to make sure your balance is on. So it's at every stage is different, which I like the fact that, we're all at different like phases, different, aspects, times in life. So. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think even like, I think she said it in here, making sure you're talking to your people or like being specific. Because I know for years, I feel like in this business, I was literally talking to everybody and it makes you not find your people. So yeah, I mean, my season of life compared to Brittany's or whoever's, like, we need to connect with people that can also relate to us in those specific moments. And that's okay if it changes over time as your kids grow or whatever, but, or your job changes or life changes in general, or you're living in a different area, whatever it is, because I know mine has changed multiple times, but it still needs to be that refocus of like, okay, who are my people? How am I showing up each day? And then taking that inventory and knowing like, okay, I'm showing up like this. Who could the content that I'm currently sharing help? If you're not sharing content that's showing your life and your health and your fitness and talking about this business, it's going to be really hard for people to connect with you. Because I believe she said this, but there's so many ways out there for people to do fitness. Like if you're just showing your fitness videos and then you shake and then you're off for the day, people are not going to connect with you and choose you. They're going to choose someone else that is more relatable. And I think that's really key in our business, and just finding that balance, not a perfect balance, but enough of a balance where people can connect with you. Do you guys feel like we kind of fall short on that sometimes? I know I feel like my life is sometimes boring when the days are the same. And I'm like, no one's going to think this is interesting. Ashley, do you have something?
Yeah. Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, I get caught up so much with work that like I often forget to post stuff on my stories. And by the time I realize like I don't post anything all day other than my workout and that stuff, it's like 8 o'clock at night and I'm like ready for bed. So I need to be better at like but my day at work's not, I literally have no time at work to post anything. So that's another issue in itself. But I know I can do better on the content part of it, and I'm trying. So I'll get better.
I love that. Like you're reflecting right now and saying, okay, maybe this is something you're going to do starting tomorrow or next week, where you're like, I'm going to try to add in one thing like over my lunch break. If you hopefully get a lunch break, I don't know.
I think we chatted about this, last week or the week before, about like trying to plan, it was last week, like trying to plan your week ahead, like on the weekends when you're not at work, unless you have to work on the weekends. Cause I know like Ashley, we had talked about at Summit was like my work schedule changing and how hard it was going to be for me to find time for Beachbody. I found time today because Tuesdays are my slow days, and I just brought my laptop out. I'm almost scheduled out my entire month of December because I decided to start a group on my due date. And it's crazy. One of my coaches was like, why would you put that stress on you? And I said, I like a good challenge. So I can schedule everything out. And it's taken me 2 days to schedule out 2 weeks. So if you kind of like prioritize your day, especially if you work, like and you have no time you can get into it, which it is hard to do. And I feel like if you're in a job where you aren't supposed to be like on your phone or your laptop, it's very frowned upon that, you know, getting up a little bit earlier. Or last week, I think I stayed on with one of my coaches, with my new coach, Amy, because she's on vacation this week and she didn't know how to schedule out posts. And I was like, let me get on Zoom with you real quick. I actually made a video of how to schedule posts out to share with people, with like my new coaches. And it literally took me 5 seconds. And I was like, wow, so like I could work in later hours of the day. It's not ideal and it doesn't have to be like that every day, but at least if you can kind of like fit it in so that you feel a little bit better about like, oh, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. Because like talked about today, like not every day has to be the same. And using your business activity tracker, I think is huge, because it kind of keeps you on track. So if you can just print it out or put it on your phone and just be like, all right, I need to connect with 5 people. I need to comment on 5 different people's things. Boom. That could be your work for the day. I need to send out 5 invites. You know what I mean? Just kind of be strategic about it instead of feeling like you have to do all the things, because you can't. Like, you work full time. Like, other coaches aren't working full time, so you have to think about that. So don't be so hard on yourself. And it is hard, but I can help you with that because I've had to rework my work schedule. So, and I'm not doing as much as I would like to be doing, but there are days where I can do more and then less on other days.
Yeah, and I think if you're setting expectations based on what your week's looking like, it's really helpful. So like maybe one Monday and Wednesday, you can get through your messages in your inbox. But on Tuesdays and Thursdays, you're maybe going to do your new follows, new connections, and like sharing love, and then your 10 invites. Like, it's okay if it's divided out like that. And I think like certain days it's like, okay, what is my top priority for the day? Like, where am I kind of behind? What is my push? What is my goal? Like, it's the end of the month. So maybe you're not at your goals, so you wouldn't focus necessarily on making new connections. Maybe you're going to focus on inviting people to reach your goals. But I think any type of planning based on your week, and like, example, if you want to be on social media more, maybe think about, okay, on Thursday, I want to post something about hydration. On Tuesday, I want to post something about my transformation. But then maybe just share the boring parts of your life, your breakfast, your dinner, your walk, your coffee. I don't know. Like, I swear my life literally repeats itself 6 times throughout the day because Brady literally sleeps, eats, plays, like, and then I repeat it again. Like, I'm like, how can this be entertaining to anyone? But like, I think people just being in on your life, and if they're your people, especially like Ashley, if you're working full time all day, maybe right after work, as you're like walking to your car or something, you do like your footsteps and say, it's been a long day, but blah, blah, blah. Like, just share some type of feeling. When I worked my job and it was like super stressful, I was not supposed to be on my phone. I would sometimes like take pictures of my lunch and then share it like when I went pee, or like of my water. And like, it's hard, but maybe the habit of like taking the pictures and then uploading them later might help. I take my stuff and then I sometimes upload it literally 3 hours later because I don't have the chance to do it yet. But maybe another thing that helps me is like the night before, I plan out my post for the next day. I plan out like what I want to share on my story related to business, and then maybe write down 2 things you want to share about life, and just kind of think about the day ahead. I don't know, little things like that used to help me, and it felt ridiculous to write down what I wanted to share in my story every day, but it actually helped because I could focus more versus just sitting there wondering.
And plan your week out. Like we talked about last week, is just like, I was just thinking this morning, like we talked about Fun Fact Friday last week. I didn't even do one and I was super pumped about doing one. I was like, okay, gotta do that this Friday. But also with like what Abby's saying, like right now, like I started creating a post about tomorrow, and it was going to be about coaching because I haven't posted about coaching in a while. And it's just a picture of me on my laptop with Kieran, but I'm talking about how Tuesdays are literally probably the worst day for me to be jumping on a team call because it's like a marathon. Like it's go, 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 go until I can like just sit down and be quiet for an hour. But I'm talking about how, you know, it's not every day and blah, 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 blah. You guys can read it tomorrow. But I have to plan my posts out the night before. Otherwise, like I don't have content to post because I can't think about it. And I know that I've like not been talking on my stories, and I talk a lot of my stories on the weekends, but not literally like during the week because I'm like, I just don't have time. So this morning I was like, all right, after my workout, you know, that's like the best time to go live on your story because you have so much energy. And I think this morning, you know, I tried to put out some good content about just how I'm utilizing, you know, our live streaming app and how I'm 38 weeks pregnant and I'm still lifting weights, how you can have a day pass, and I gave a link out. But that's like the best time. Like I do it like if I'm making lunch or breakfast or whatever, quickly I'll just put my phone up and start talking while I'm doing something. So like just think of like if you can just fit it in, like, oh, I took a shower, I can jump on if I have to, but just like think of it that way because I feel the same way. I'm like, crap, I haven't gone live all week on my story. I was like, I need to start being more intentional. Like I get up super duper early. There's no reason I can't for 2 minutes go live on my story, and I save them, take a shower, do all my other things, and then I go back and I'll create like content to go with it. So it's not easy. That's definitely not easy. And not everybody literally has time to sit there and do stuff like Emily Favre, Ashley Molstead, like they aren't working. So you just keep that in mind. I have to remind myself of that at least every day.
I think this is good. And just like, do you, like, I don't know, whatever feels right. People are going to relate to you in your situation. And it's just something you have to keep sharing. The good, the bad, the ugly, the I'm going to go to bed before 9 o'clock nights, the whatever it is. But I think you guys are doing awesome. And I think it's just really kind of just finding what works for you, finding your passion behind the business, but also the people you want to talk to, the people you want to connect to, and sharing your life, because you want people to know that they can join you, but you also want people to, like she said, like you as a person and like want to get to know you, not just because of the business. And I think with the holidays, and there's lots of fun things coming up, like you're going to go to family get-togethers and do all those holiday things and decorate. Like people love to see stuff like that. Like they love to see like, oh, what's the inside of her house look like? Oh, how does she decorate? Oh, what movies does she like? Like that kind of stuff. You can share that. And it seems like, to me, I'm like, why would people care? But they do. They're like, I love how you did that. And I would just keep sharing the most simple things because you never know who's going to connect with you.
So to wrap this up, like Abby was saying, to that point, I specifically posted car polls because I knew, you know, nobody like voted on my poll for Shakeology today, but I had so many people, more people than I even thought watched my actual stories vote on my car polls. So they really do care. That helps your engagement overall. And then moving forwards, another video that I have for Kayla. Oh, good night, Bellamy. Say good night to the team.
Good night.
Sweet dreams.
Yes.
Bye,
Sweet.
Bellamy.
Bye.
Okay. Sorry. So, another one that she had, the next video is 9 minutes long. It's on polarizing content. I can share that video with you next team call, but I will share the posts on the Team Phoenix page. The main thing with that is Kayla was talking about the big thing about like going viral on the internet, it used to be the polarizing content was like, you know, something catastrophic happened. Everyone would watch those videos of like a car crash or like a crazy stunt or a something. And so the polarizing content for her, she said, like, are the strong opinion, hot button topics, things like that, posts that grab people's attention, unpopular opinions, those types of things. So she has a bunch of post prompts that are like appropriate polarizing content. So I'll share those with you guys in the Team Phoenix page, but it just also helps come up with ideas. Like just looking at her list, I'm like, wow, those are great ideas. And one of them might be like a time I really didn't like coaching. But, and then people are like, oh, tell me the deets. Like, what did you like about coaching? And, you know, you can share something simple and true. But yeah, so definitely helping create content as well. So I will share that also.
All that stuff looks awesome. So I appreciate it. And thanks for sharing all of this and signing up for that, because I think just getting to know, like getting to hear these little bits and pieces really does help. Anything else?
I'd like to share. I think the video was very helpful for me because I realized that I don't really post things about me. Like I think it was, I don't know if it was Brittany talking about it, but she said, you know, like she works out and her child is there. And I think I should do that too, because like I feel like people relate to that, because there's a lot of moms out there that try to work out and their kids get in the way. Like mine, I like to work out at night because my husband's there, so he takes care of the baby. But when sometimes she leaves, so she goes where I'm working out. And like yesterday, she was on my way. But yeah, I feel like I should post about things like that. And because the video did mention about like your audience wants to see stuff like that, and they should like you as a person first, as like a human, and not just about posting. Because I would post a lot of like, I post like a lot of like food stuff, but I stopped because I got sick, like I was vomiting and stuff, so I kind of stopped for a little bit. And I also, I told, I don't know if I told like the group that I was like, I thought I was urinating blood because of the workout, right? But it was my period that came back. I haven't started my period in 18 months because I'm breastfeeding. I'm still breastfeeding, and my baby's gonna be 2. And it came back, and I thought it was blood from working out, but it wasn't. It was because of, it's just my period that came back, thank God. So I kind of like, even I was still working out, but I kind of just stopped posting because I was scared a little bit. But yeah, it turns out it was just my period. Yeah, the doctors didn't tell me that though, because they said they can't figure it out. So yeah, I just think the video really helped me to like try to incorporate things about like my personal life as well. And I think Abby mentioned that, you know, people want to see like your house decor, and that's true because I like to watch videos of that too. So yeah, the video was very helpful. Thank you for sharing, and I'm definitely gonna remember some things and write some things and try to figure out what I'm gonna post like daily or at least twice a week or something. But I just wanted to share that. Thank you. Thank you so much.
I love it. Thank you for sharing. And I'm so glad those doctors are ridiculous. They sound like men doctors that you went to. So I am so glad you are not sick. And yeah, I'm glad the video helped. And I can share, I can try to screen share, send snippets back to anybody. We do have this recording here as well if you want to come back to it and rewatch the video again and get some more nuggets out of it. But yeah, happy to share.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad we got to meet our newest member of the team today. And we'll have another new member shortly here, I'm sure. But I hope you guys have a great night, and we're always here if you have any questions or think of anything or need anything at all. But Drew will talk to you tomorrow. See ya.
Night.
Bye.
Bye, guys.